These are the words of the Holy One, the True One, who has the key of David, who opens and no one will shut, who shuts and no one opens. I know your works. Look, I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut. I know that you have but little power, and yet you have kept my word, and have not denied my name. I will make those of the synagogue of Satan who say they are Jews and are not, but are lying. I will make them come and bow down before your feet, and they will learn that I have loved you, because you have kept my word of patient endurance. I will keep you from the hour of trial that is coming on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. Revelation chapter 3, verses 7 through 10. Okay, this is my Astro van, and problem is that the door, sliding door, will not move. And it appears that the back mechanism is in its track, so not exactly sure where it is stuck. What I'm going to try to do is take the forward hanger loose, which not the upper one, but the lower one. The one that's right down there, which you can't see very well. So the first thing I did was there's 3 Phillips head screws under there, 3 more over here, and took those out, put the latches on the outside of the window. Okay, so this plate here was held on by 4 Phillips head screws, and you have to just kind of wiggle it around the handle there. So next we're going to take this cover off right here. Okay. And then there's another one on the other edge over here just the same way that I'll take out. And then after that, there's a couple of things up here you have to just pull down. It's like that, and that piece comes off. And to get this lower section off, right here it just pulls up like that. And with that panel off, that reveals this bracket here that holds the front part of the door. So I'm going to take these bolts out, these 3 bolts. And these are 13mm bolts. Okay, so I just slid that dude right off of there. And that thing seems to be stuck, so hopefully that's the source of my problem. Seems to be. So let's go take a look at that. I do have a jack under there holding that door up, so I'm not sure I need it, but just in case. So this piece seems to be stuck up in there, and there is a guide on the bottom of this step right here that seems like it guides those rollers. So if you look back in here, I don't know how easy it is to see, but there's 2 rollers on that thing. and one of them is on the wrong, or coming out of the track, and so it's not very easy to see there, but this roller right there is kind of out from underneath this lip. It should be on the back side of it. So what I'm going to try to do is just knock that back under there and see if that doesn't free that up. Okay, so I was able to get that out of there. Just a lot of wiggling and prying and just manipulating it. It wasn't rocket science, but anyway, so it looks like these two, there's two rollers on the top that move, and then there's this roller which is covered with crud in my case. There's a roller hidden in that mess somewhere. So I think I probably put some grease on there at one point to try to free that up a little bit, but you can see it's covered with crud now. So I'm going to try to clean that up, see if I can get that roller to work. I don't know whether it's supposed to be as loose as it is here, which might be part of the problem. So if you look there on the top, you can see that that roller is no longer flat, or no longer round rather. It is flat, so that hasn't been rolling for years. So even if I were to free it up and get it to roll, it would probably still be kind of bouncy. So I'm going to see if I can't get another one, and I imagine it probably won't be as loose as this one is either. So. Okay, so I got the new part, and this is what the old one looked like, and the new one does not move at all. So obviously not supposed to move around like that. It's supposed to be nice and tight. Okay, the trick to putting this in is I pulled out this seal, just pulled it up off of that groove. I stick this in there like that. I push it all the way to the back and rock it underneath that rail. There you have it. It's under the lip that's back there and rolling on the track on the bottom. And then you simply push this seal right back where it was. Mine's ripped a little bit, but that's all there is to it. And then I'm going to park this guy right there and slide the door back in, and then bolt it on from the inside. Okay, so I have the bolts started on the bracket. You have to kind of lift it up a little bit from the side, and I'm guessing you want to have it down against the bracket and flush against the door. So I'm not exactly sure how critical this is to have it line up right, but I'm just gonna try it out and see. And when I did that, works just fine. A lot better than it has in a long time. So one thing I noticed when I got everything back together was my gap on this side of the door is much different than my gap back here. So when you're putting it back together, you might want to make sure that these gaps are correct. Okay, so to adjust this gap here, I put a couple of spacers in there. And I think it's a little bit more than what I need, actually. But what I'm thinking is when I push that bracket down and tighten it up, it's probably going to sink a little bit more. And so hopefully I've got going a little bit thicker than I need. And then when everything settles, it should be about right. So I loosened those bolts. And that bracket dropped down. So now I'm going to tighten it up. And hopefully my gap will be good. Okay, so now got that kind of gap on the back and that kind of gap on the front. So they look pretty even. So very good. Okay, one other note is I decided to take these white clips out with my handy dandy clip puller, and it just seemed like it was going to be easier to put a lower trim. And so when you get these out, you just take it, slide them in. So that let me put that trim piece on much easier. And thanks for watching.